Gold may have had a roaring year, but one of Australia's biggest gold companies has yet to see much upside. Kingsgate Consolidated delivered an annual net profit of $21.1 million today, down over 70%, largely as a result of lower gold sales. It's been a rocky year, regulatory hurdles in Thailand, floods in South Australia and two major acquisitions to bed down, but the future looks brighter. Well, joining me now is Chairman of Kingsgate Consolidated, Smyth-Kirk. Ross, welcome to the programme.
Good evening, Jill.
Now, your Chief Executive, Gavin Thomas, calls this a year of transformation. How are you going to get those reluctant share investors to fall in love with Kingsgate?
Well, first of all, Tiki, the result wasn't quite as bad as that. You'll notice there were quite a number of abnormal items, including about 16 million of foreign exchange losses, most of which are unrealised, and about 5 million to do with the two takeovers that we did during the year. So, in essence, the result wasn't that bad. We did, of course, let the market know. You know, it was no surprise to the market that this was the case. Because
I come back to that question: how are you going to get these investors to fall in love with Kingsgate?
Well, as you've probably already seen, we've also given a guidance to the market for what our production is likely to be this year. And we're talking about between 240 and 260,000 ounces. That's
over a double, isn't it?
Oh, yes, yes. And that's because we've built a new plant, more than doubling capacity at Chartree, and that's on schedule to be opened within the next month or two. And also affecting this year has been the fact that we were in a very low grade part of the mine, and we have a high grade one that we've been coming into which we expected to be in about 6 months earlier.
Chartree is the land of opportunity in Thailand, the great upside, but it also carries risks. You've just got a new government there in Thailand now, and you're planning to ramp up over the next few months. But it does depend on getting that license, doesn't it? Are you confident that you'll be able to ramp up in that way?
I would think so, Tiki. I mean, it's like operating in Australia anyway. Once you build something, you've got to have regulatory approvals to go ahead and do that. I mean, we don't see any particular concern there.
Mm. You must be very frustrated with the gold price as it is, that you can't get it out of the ground fast enough.
Well, that's always the way. But
do you think the price will stick around though for the next 1, 2, 3 years? And what is your outlook in terms of amounts of gold over the next 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, Tiki, we get asked this all the time, of course. But as producers, we get the average of the price over a whole year. So the day-to-day fluctuations don't mean that much. Clearly, gold is in a long-term uptrend, and as I've been saying for some time, I read the newspapers every day, and while you continue to have the problems in Europe and in the US, gold and silver are both unlikely to be falling too far anyway.
You've got big plans now for your IPO in Thailand. That's presumably all about de-risking.
Yes, certainly. And we're looking there to quite a large amount of money coming to the company, we would hope, and we obviously have got a number of other projects that we wish to finance with that money.
And Asian investors presumably understand that market much better.
We think so, yes.
So you're hoping for an increase in share price as a result of that float?
Well, I'd certainly expect that, and I'd expect with the added production that we're going to have, and quite honestly large cash flows and large profits coming over the next year or two, I'd expect a re-rating certainly.
Ross Smyth-Kirk, I thank you very much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you, Tiki.